hello to everyone in the chat. Quickly say something cool. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. Rightio, 1 second. Okay, here we go. This is the game. Losers round 1, 2 good versus unknown potato. We saw these guys play yesterday. If anyone watching, UP played against, I think it was Team Boss. Yeah, it was Team Boss. They didn't do too great. They complained a lot about lag, which is never a reason to lose a game. The build diversity was really bad. They didn't synergize together at all, so hopefully we see these guys do a lot better in regards to how they build and how they synergize together with the other players in the team. I haven't seen... Oh, I did see Too Good as well. I think they played against Iron. They didn't do too great either, so this should be a pretty close game for the two of them. So we shall see, and I'm going to start this right now with the creepy Genji music in the background. Right, so we've got Voxwave, we've got Delma, and we have Triggerfinger on the red team. On the blue team we've got Venisect, Alpha, and Max Quest. Running a very initiation type poke build comp. They used the Derpal Leon last time and they didn't run ranged tongue, so that was a big bad decision for them to do that. They're just trying to take over mid, but they need to be careful of Derpal because he can just drop down and just destroy everyone in the middle, but he's being a bit passive, which he shouldn't really be doing, and he's going to get caught out by the Swiggins. Really nice dynamite from the Lone Star. Really nice clean up on the Derpal. I'm not sure what the Derpal was thinking there. No initiations into any sort of snare. And Venisect is going to get outpoked by the Lone Star. Really good beginning by UP, so they're going to try and get a nice split push going on, hopefully. Lone Star going to back up, get the health pack, and just try and meet up Voxwave. Tries to get in the bull, goes the wrong way. Venisect doing some really nice job to keep up with the red team. He's going to back him off nicely. No one's kind of clearing the bottom, but Lone Star's going to come down now, see what he can do. Not too much because the Derpal and Venisect's going to come over and say goodbye to him. Quite worried about the Derpal, to be honest. He's not really picking up any snares with the Leon. He hasn't really taken over mid at all, and that's kind of what Derpal does on Ribbit. I'm not really sure what he's doing, to be honest. Gets a really nice placed snare though and cleans up Delma. That's a really bad decision for Lone Star to go down. They're trying to challenge Lone Star and Derpal. You don't want to do that. It's a really strong comp, but they get out just in time, fortunately for those guys. So if I was playing on Derpal right now, I would literally just be chilling with my Leon, keeping up with mid, just not worrying too much about going too deep, but just trying to pull them into the snares. So hopefully he picks up the range tongue and doesn't buy damage on tongue this game, because it's not going to synergize as great. All the damage is going to come out of Derpal's nukes, and that's what you want really. You don't want to focus too much on damage as Leon early game with a Derpal. You want to focus on initiation with some sort of utility tools, and then you build up your AA damage. You don't want tongue damage with a Derpal until late game. So blue have taken over the middle now, which is really what they should have done. Red team are going to struggle to kind of take that back with a Derpal in the middle of a Leon. So we'll see what they're going to do. Delma's probably going to try and get some bullpins, which is really great on this map. Just kind of screw over Leon and the Scree, but Scree obviously doesn't really worry too much about bullpins because he can just get knocked out. Venisect and Leon trying to get some plays going on the top, but nothing's going to come out of that one. It's a pretty close game really. Venisect poking way too much, nearly gets shut down there by Voxwave. He's quite lucky to survive that then. Leon's gone for the backstab. Again, I've already discussed this, not the greatest thing to do when you've got a Derpal who's going to be doing the majority of the damage. Just not really a good idea. Triggerfinger in a really bad spot. He just gets out. Nice bull, but... Oh, actually, he gets the kill. Kind of weird. So nice cleanup by him. A lot of characters going for early regen is what you don't really want to do against this kind of comp, because it's not really pokey, it's more bursty with the Derpal Leon setup. It's just a waste of soul life. You're going to go regen early on. You're going to lack out on a lot of damage, which is a shame really, because this map is all about burst setups across map. And if you don't have enough damage, then you're just kind of wasting your time. Voxwave going to come down. Doesn't want to meet up the Devil because he's going to get shredded. Lone Star is going to try and get some picks on Max Quest, but he's going to get out. Nice anchor on the Derpal, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to walk away. Venisect trying to challenge, but nothing's going to come out of that one. And Delma's just going to clean up top. He didn't really want to push too hard though, because I'm quite low health with the Leon around. Derple's going to go for some nuke damage, which is pretty good build. He's got some regen, which is fine for Derple because he's going to be very immobile. He wants to have that sustain, but for the rest of the characters, they want to go for some pretty basic kind of DPS initiation tools. Doesn't want to go for regen or sustain at this point, I don't think. So they shouldn't really. Lone Star sitting on nearly 400 solar. He needs to kind of go back and get some damage out of that. Max Quest getting shredded by that sword, but he's just going to get out, luckily. Triggerfinger should really be checking out the solar boss, not the Lone Star. It's quite easy for a Screed to do that, and he's not doing that very effectively. Nice tongue by Leon, but no Derple, no snares to initiate from that. Really nice play by Voxwave, but this team's not there to capitalise on that hook. Lone Star still 400, should really go back. I'm not sure what he's going to build. Missile, maybe trying him out, but Missile's really good against this comp. Outranges the Derple and the Leon. Really good internal cooldown and max DPS potential for such an early game item. Venisek trying to make some plays, but he's going way too deep on his own. 3 versus 1 is not a great idea. Voxwave should not be challenging that Derple. He's going to go down, but he's going to do it anyways. He gets out half health. We're trying to deal with the Derple. Really nice totem, but Derple's just going to walk off because there's no damage from the red team, so he's going to get out of there and get the health pack. It's a really close game actually, not really one-sided. Both teams are making some mistakes, not capitalising on some of the initiations that they've got going on and extending way too much than they should. Derple coming out then, he could have to get a nuke on. He's going to get the nuke anyways. No one gets hit, thankfully for the red team. But Derple needs to kind of back out now. They've all got some health, recuperate, and they've got some really big burst damage for the Derple. Lone Star still sitting on 500, really bad. We're 5 minutes into the game. He can't afford to sit on 500 solar like that. It's not the greatest decision. Little initiation going on at bottom. That nuke's going to hit just, but that's okay. It's not going to die from that. Looks like the Screws are trying to play around with the totems in middle, trying to deny them that jump pad, which is a really good trick for Screws to do. It can, in conjunction with these teammates, it can literally bear someone down in a couple of seconds in that short space. So top turret's going to go down. Venisek needs to be careful, but Derple's going to come in to back him up there. And again, it's just a little close game, playing a bit of footsie knots now in the middle. Blue should definitely try and get a bigger push on the top with that kind of complet they have, the area denial with the snares and with Screed Totem, but they're not really doing that at the moment, which is a shame. Leon's gone for the backstab, extra, but again, not really great. Lone Star went for the boots, the Tranamite and the Big Bull. Big Bull's okay, it's quite situational, but it only costs 135 solar, so it's not a big deal. Boots is obviously a really good pick for Lone Star for the Duke ability, and obviously Tranamite's really good. Unless he's got missiles, Tranamite is actually probably a go-to best build for the Lone Star to go to because of how much it gives. But if you had missile, then the missile would generally be a better choice over the Tranamite, unless you're going for a lifesteal orientated build to begin with. Challenging the blue team, but Derple, they know Derple's sitting at the bottom, so he's not going to try and challenge too much. I don't know what's going on here, but Venisek's going to get slammed. Derple's stuck inside of the middle with the two blue-red team. He's going to get dynamited and he's going to get shredded. If he had nuke, that would have been a GG, but unfortunately for him, no nuke on that one. Alpha Z's staying out way too long. And he hasn't got the range poke or the frontal damage from this AA to really tackle this push that the red team have going. Backstab's only great if you can actually utilise it, unfortunately, and they're going to shred that solar boss, rightly so, because that's 20 solar per team, and that's just what you want to do. As soon as you get that nice push, don't want to overextend, make sure you kind of capitalise on whenever you can, and a solar boss is really great for doing that. Damn, my throat is sore! Okay, so the blue team's going to get pushed back on the bottom turret now. Derple's going to try and defend. Bug's out on the nuke, not sure what really happened there, but that blue turret's going to go down fairly quick when the blue's not looking. Derple's in a good spot to kind of nuke here. Triggerfinger's in a bad spot, he doesn't want to kind of extend on this. Alpha picks up the kill on Voxwave, didn't really see that, but he's going to try and escape. He has no range tongue to set up with that Leon, but with the Derple, sorry, he's just going to walk off and not think about any reversals. And he's just going to try and find him up top. So Swiggins has gone for a max air build, which is not too bad against this kind of comp. It's just worrisome when he gets into melee range of the Derple. But with the ink and the max damage, it can really destroy the Scree and the Leon in a close quarters fight. So it's not exactly a bad thing to go for. And he's going to get shut down now. This is where the A is going to come out, and Venesex somehow gets out. Triggerfinger's going to chase Alpha. He just gets out, doesn't get the double damage on the saw. Derp and Leon going to try and work together, but that lack of range to him is really a bad decision by Too Good, and it's going to cost them the game at this point. They're not really setting up with the snares. It's counterproductive of the comp itself. I'm not sure what they're going to be doing later on, but it's gone for false T. If this is something that I did the last game playing against Team Boss, and it didn't really work out for them. It's a very solo orientated build, and it's not gonna help this team comp whatsoever. It's quite a selfish build. It's very solo-ish play. So Leon's gonna have to really pull out some skills to kind of utilize that. Derble's gonna fire a nuke, but that's not gonna be a big trouble for the red team. They're just gonna back off. That bottom turret's on like 1 bar of health, not even that. And Derp may get shredded here because that turret's gonna go down. Alpha doesn't want to challenge this, neither does the Scree. Rightly so, he backs off, and well, yeah, they're doing really good this game as opposed to last game, which is good for them. Potatoes didn't do the greatest against Boss. I think it was Boss. Yeah, was it Boss? Yeah, we'll go with Boss. They're doing a lot better now, but I'm worrying about Too Good because they don't seem too bad of a players, but they're not utilising their comp to its fullest, and they just get shredded there. Lifesteal didn't help him whatsoever, neither did the backstab. He needs to stick with that Derpal and set up with his snares. That is the comp. Derpal's gone for max health, survivability and sustain, which is not great. His health already high. He needs max nuke damage to take down these high HP characters like Swiggins and Lone Star. They're going to fall short if they don't do that, especially when Leon doesn't have the range to set up into the snares. Lone Star again sitting on 657 solar. I would not let him personally get away with that. I would be shredding him every chance I got. He should no person should ever be doing that. That's too much solar. You're effectively reducing your level. Scree coming into the fight. Can he make any plays out of that? Nope. They're just going to back up. Not going to worry too much about anything. Don't want to overextend. They're already ahead 8 and 2. The level disparity is scrolling in a very worrying way. 4 levels difference and a 5 level difference from Leon. If I was playing on the blue team right now, I mean I can't edge this enough. You have to go some sort of tongue into snare setup. He's going to get bulled right into Voxwave. Voxwave's going to clean him up easily. Delma somehow avoids the snare. Maybe it just timed out in time. He gets blocked out by the totem. Can the nuke come out? He's sitting in a saw blade and he gets shredded. That was a very bad play from the Derpal. Really nice saw blade coming out from the blue team. From the red team, sorry. So yeah, Potato doing a really good job. It looks like they're going to be winning this game if it keeps it up. They don't have the greatest builds, but it's working for them quite nicely. The Lone Star's gone for Explosion, which is great for the Derpal. If he had the Techno Viking helmet, that would have been nearly a hard counter to the Derpal, especially when it doesn't have nuke damage to kind of get rid of it quickly. But the Explosion is just as effective and it has a slow on that, so that's going to counter the slow. I mean, the fast characters like Leon and the Scree try and get some setups for the Voxwave. He gets the anchor, and Venesex is going to get shredded here. He's going to go down. Alpha's going to come in, trying to utilize that backstab and that lifesteal tongue. He's with his Derpal, but he's getting absolutely shredded. He's going to go down. Derpal's last man standing, but Voxwave throws on an anchor on his face, and he's going to get flattened. And this is pretty much going to be 2 turrets down. I will not be surprised. Just tank that for as long as you can. With the totem and the bull, yeah, that's definitely going to go down for sure. And they're going to go to top and trying to push that turret as well. Voxwave being a bit slow, he should be running towards that turret as fast as he can, utilising that team wipeout. They should definitely go down now. He's going to use his anchor to kind of tank it for a bit and then utilise the droids. The bottom team, bottom 2 are not going to join him so quickly though, which is a shame because that turret could have gone down and could have got 2 super droids for that extra push. But he's going to go in again. They're going to take out that solar boss, which we really should quite easily for Scree to do. And they're just going to increase that lead that they've already got. And really nice anchor, kind of a lucky bull as well. Nearly got the kill on that. They're just going to keep poking this turret until it goes down. And blue team really don't have an answer for this. He's complaining about the bug tongue in anchor, but that's not really the problem right now. It's just making up excuses. And they're going to go back and spend that massive solar. And what does he get? He gets extra auto attack damage, which is obviously always nice. very easily to hit with the air, and it's going to be very effective against the Derpal with him being stationary. So Potato are doing a really good job right now, mostly for the fact that Too Good aren't really utilising the comp in the way that they should. Alpha trying to make some YOLO plays, but nothing's going to come out of that. He needs to be needs to be careful, because Swiggins would shred him, and Swiggins will shred him because Swiggins is a monster. And I didn't see that, but looks like their scree went down. So blue team managed to pick up a kill, but it's 13-3. So it's not looking too good for these guys. Not single turret down for them. They've hit the turret quite a bit, but nothing to scoff at. That's a really nice anchor onto Leon, but unfortunately for him, he's going to get out. Nuke coming out from the Derpal, but not quick enough. He's going to come in. Voxwave's going to come in to try and make some plays after the nuke's gone, which he should have really, but he didn't get up, set up on the anchor. Leon's overextending. Doesn't get the anchor because of the bull, but that's not a big problem. They're going to push up that base and maybe get the scree, who's overextended. Uses the totem to his advantage, then he gets out. Alpha just, scree comes in just to pick off the other scree. Alpha playing very kind of YOLO-ish. It's not a great thing to do with Leon. Maybe in solo queue, but when you're playing with a team, Leon's greatest aspect is that he can work so well with so many different comps, especially with the Derpal and that range tongue. And he just hasn't done it at all this game. He's been very selfish. And the Derpal hasn't really bought into any sort of nuke damage. The scree's gone for a pretty good build, max best into air. It's a pretty standard build. He's got no survivability, but at this point he has to risk it all to kind of make some plays. Can't really diss him for that one. And they're just going to put that turret down. Not much really else I can do about this. The explosion build with that long range poke, they're just slamming that turret. Nice tongue, but it's not a ranged tongue, I'm afraid. And they're just going to clean up. Going to try and get Venisect before they do that. But Venisect managed to pick up a kill, but I think Leon's going to go down thanks to Voxwave. And yeah, this is just an ever so slowly defeat. Yeah, Voxwave gets shredded by the latex packet, that is Condom Swiggins. And yeah, it's pretty much GG. And I'm probably going to have to get a drink, because I can't feel my throat. Voxwave playing with the Derpal, but Triggerfinger just going to finish it up with his zappity zap. Pretty close game to begin with. I said there's a lot going on. But Potato doing the better job, and Too Good kind of playing too much solo queue notes for my liking. That was one of the biggest downfalls. There wasn't really contributing with the synergy that Derpal and Leon had. And I mean, I couldn't really knock Scree. The comp really relied on that snare setup, and he was there for the pokes and for that high burst damage. But the Leon and the Derpal didn't work together as effectively as they could, and I've probably gone over this too much, but I couldn't emphasise it enough whenever you play with this kind of comp. The enemy team towards the Too Good Potatoes, pretty standard build. Swiggins not maxing out his anchor hook much towards the late game. He's going for attack speed. Attack speed is not great in comparison to the Blue Heart medal because of the burst and the solar requirements. It's actually in the favour of Blue Heart medal because of its plus 20 and you only get attack speed. Obviously it favours the best that Swiggins has with that max air. Lone Star played a bit weird, with a strange build. We're going for near enough max bull with some health. It's not a terrible build, but I would have capitalised on that if I was Too Good. And the Scree for Potatoes is pretty standard build. He's got the size, he's got lifesteal. Lifesteals, a lot of people say that's not that great, but it helps with sustain. But slow apparently is a lot better to kind of pick up on that double-edged saw return. Which he does have actually. No, that's just a slow in the air. It's fairly standard build. It's not too much, but Potatoes kind of struggle going back. If you don't go back and you have solar, that level doesn't mean anything. You know, this guy could be level 21, but with his 800 solar, it's the same as this guy who spent all his solar with level 13. So they need to be careful with that. Make sure that they have the solar spent and the kind of just make a bigger lead, really. So that's that. 1 second. Just need to. I will be AFK for 2 minutes. I will put some Genji music on for you. 1 moment. I don't know about warm water, but I'm going to drink some cold water. So I just need to load up the second game and I'll be right with you. This is a long game, so brace yourselves. Oh wow. So the bans coming from each team, give me 1 second. Too Good banned Scree and the Unknown Potatoes banned Klung. Quite interesting choices really. I don't feel like Scree contributed too much. I don't think it was too much of a problem unless they're going to use another Derpal comp. Potatoes banning Klung. Maybe they know about them playing a Klunk comp, I'm not too sure. I don't know too much about these teams, but we will see. We will see indeed. Right, let me set up this game for y'alls. If there's anything I could do better, guys, just let me know. Obviously I'm solo casting right now and there's a lot going on the screen. I've got to speak a lot, make sure it's all good for you guys to watch, informative, and I'm also obviously having to switch between each character individually because it's a lot better to see that kind of spectator mode as you would play in the game. So I'm trying to keep up with that as best I can, so just let me know if anything can be done better. Right, one more sip of drink and I'm ready to go. Right, here we go. So, Too Good are going to be whipping out the Latex Packet, the Froggy G and the Coco, and on the blue team, Potato, they're going to be rocking out the Latex Packet as well, so it's going to be getting a lot of showing in this game. They're using Sentry, damn these guys and their disgustingness, and they're playing with Lone Star once again, so this guy obviously does a lot of Lone Star, so he should be, that was a weirdly strong anchor, so he should be doing a lot of work with that experience that he's got in these current games. Gone for pretty standard builds. Obviously, since it's a no solar tournament, Sentry's not going to whip out that Piggy into Gravity or Piggy into Lifesteal, which is very, very strong early game. So they've all gone for base abilities, apart from the Sentry, who's not going to opt for that teleport, which is not too great early game. You know, it can be great to come back into the shop and come out quite early, or maybe set up some BHSs, but the BHS doesn't have the gravity at the moment, it's not going to do too much, but there comes the BHS doing a lot of damage, but no capitalization from Voxwave. He's not going to do too much damage, but Venesek's going to pull down Triggerfinger, unfortunately, and Delma's going to run off with 1 bar of health. That was a good initiation for those guys. It was quite a reversal. Venesek's utilising that stealth. He's going to shred Voxwave, and he manages to pick him off. It was a quite close one on my screen, but not close enough, unfortunately. So this is a completely different reversal. I think this is kind of how these guys prefer to play, very individually based, very solo queue kind of comps, but they're not focusing on that Derpal, who requires a lot of good initiation tools from the Leon. They're relying on their brute force solo queue playstyles now, and we should see a lot different gameplay coming from these guys, especially with the two Swiggins versus each other. It's quite Swiggins is quite strong and is going to become even stronger, but we shall see. Being a bit laggy, I'm not sure what's going on there, so we'll switch to Foxworth, see what he's doing. He's going to pick up some solar. So Froggy G, he's ahead of solar. He's got 230 right now. He's probably going to Hammer Pants and or Mutant Ninja Worms, but we shall see. Maybe he's got some crazy build going on. Foxworth not opting for the anchor dive, gets the anchor hook up there. Not a great initiation from the blue team, but it's okay. They picked up a health pack and they're going to counteract this counter play coming from Alpha Z's team. Little play going on from bottom, not much is going to happen. Venisect hits his dash, but already come up for the jump pad. Sentry's being Sentry, he's the greatest walk forwarder in the game, and no one else can contest this guy, so he walks forward, they move backwards, that's how it works, unfortunately. And he's doing a really good job of that. BHS is going to come out. I'm not sure how much he's got out of that, but it looked like a decent amount. So he's going to try and save that up and trying to get a great initiation from that. Potential bullpins into BHS and anchor into BHS is a possibility, but these guys seem to be just firing BHS into their CC, so we'll see how it goes. Voxwave's going to come in and try and make some plays with the BHS, but he's struggling to get up right now. There he goes. There we go, and he's dropped back down. Unfortunate. Really nice anchor, ridiculous range on the anchor. BHS, there we go, that BHS into a CC play came out and it worked really well for them. The longest anchor I've ever seen. Misses Dynamite, he's lagging quite badly here, which is unfortunate, but blue team's going to capitalise on that, which is competitive play. You know, you can't, unfortunately, let other people just get away with it, because if his lag kills you, then it's sad times indeed. So, unfortunately for Alpha, this blue team's going to capitalise on that. Going to get a little push going at bottom. Alpha Z is going to come out with a nice anchor hook, but nothing's going to come out of that. Voxwave is going to kind of slither away. I'm not sure what the hell that was. That was a new move coming off from Swiggins, but doesn't get a kill out of it, so it's okay. We've got Particles, one stage coming out from Coco, but he's opted for the early regen, which is a shame. Could have been double Particles, which is really, really strong universally against all these characters. Foggy G coming out with that Armor Pants I suggested that he would, and we've got a lifesteal coming out on the Sentry for that massive sustain. Double regen coming out for Alpha Z, which, man, I can't stress this enough. Why are people going double regen? It's crazy. It's crazy. All these health packs. Double regen. What the hell is this? Oh well. Really good potential for a BHS combo if Triggerfinger goes into that turret. No, he's already got it hooked up, so he's not going to get anything out of that one. Venisect coming in with a Tornado dash player. They just walk off, gets a bull into his face. Nothing's coming out of that. And again, Lone Star sitting on that 300 solar. That guy needs to work on his purchasing skills, because he's missing out on a lot of goddamn solar. So that top turret took a lot of damage, and it's going to remain to take some more damage from the bull combos. Triggerfinger just going to fly off here, and Voxwave's going to get chased by the Alpha Z lagging around and the Max Quest of Coco. He's in a really bad spot. He's trying to utilise that Particles, but it doesn't have the double Particles, so it's not going to be great damage right now. He stealths up, sure, Foggy G should get that, but he's giving it to Alpha Z, which is lagging. I wouldn't really recommend that, because anchor is quite easy to hit anyways, whereas the dash you can stand on top of him quite easily. But he's going to go initiate on that. I'm not sure how we saw him. VHS comes out on Max Quest, nothing's going to come out of that, but that turret's definitely going to go down. Venisect trying to make some plays, a great Tornado dash combo coming from him. Going to chase Voxwave down to the bottom, really nice ball coming from Max Quest. Too good, really showing their solo queue kind of builds coming into order now. And they're just going to push bottom right now. Probably go for a split push. I would go for a split push here. Needs to be careful of Sentry though, because Sentry is a powerhouse. Bottom's taking a lot of damage. Need to be really careful of Sentry now, because they're all weak. But Sentry defends it, remains on half health. Pretty good, pretty good. So the Lone Star's finally bought something, and he's gone for Trinamite, which is fair enough. And the Swiggins has gone for some auto attack damage, which he did the previous game, whereas Alpha Z has gone for the blue hat. He's going to go for some extra damage on his anchor. Yeah, bottom turret's pretty much going to go down. If it was them, sacrifice that. Yeah, there we go. You should have sacrificed it straight away, but there you go, get gold. If your turret's going to go down, make sure you let the droids get it, because you will get the solar. It's quite a nice play that you can do, and not enough people do it. So Triggerfinger's going to do his walk forward that Sentry does, and he's going to then focus on Venisect. Venisect's fine, though, he dashes out. Max Quest trying to make some plays, but nothing's going to come out of that one. Yeah, it's a close game again. It's 4-1 in favour of Too Good, but their comp is quite early in comparison to the blue team's comp, where Lone Star really relies on hitting those dynamites and trying to get some bull players. Sentry is very, very tanky and got some good CC, but his overall damage isn't that great. So they could potentially win out on brawling engagements and trying to clean up on the Sentry afterwards. But they need to clean up on this Super Droid, which they have, and that's going to go down very fast. Get that stealth. He manages to pick up Alpha Z. Delma's quite extended. He doesn't get killed, but he wastes a bull. Alpha Z could technically, set up on the trigger finger, but trigger finger is just going to say, no, I'm fucking Sentry. I got BHS. You're going to go down. Bullpin coming out onto the Froggy G, but he jumps out of the way. And trigger finger is just going to do his walk forward again and take control. Manages to avoid the hook. Puts a nice teleport at the bottom, which is nice to put if you're coming from top to bottom instantly, trying to surprise the enemy. It's quite a good thing to do. Not enough teleport players get used by Sentry, so it's nice to see. This game's gone a bit weird. Sounds. There we go. Sentry's going to come in, get some tanking on the turret. Even though they're at a disadvantage in terms of kills, they're still pushing forward, and somehow there's one shot the turret. Not sure what's going on there. Sentry's overpowered, but I didn't realise it was that overpowered. Okay, I think it was just a bug. Crazy lags going down. We've got Froggy G sitting on 400 solar. He's probably going to go for some more dash damage and or go for the Mutant Ninja Worms. A very standard, very strong build. Turrets are gone, but I'm sure that's okay. There's a million bullets coming out. Venisek trying to make some plays, trying to defend that invisible turret, but nothing's going to come out of that. Maxwave's in a bad spot, but Voxwave can't afford to initiate against 3 versus 1. So he makes the right choice and gets the hell out of there. What the hell is wrong with it? Come on, Coon, sort these bugs out. Sort these bugs out, man. What the hell is this? Nice bait coming out from the Froggy G, but it doesn't manage to pick anything up. And they're going to try and fight this invisible turret again. Not sure what the health is on the turret, but it doesn't seem to be dying very quickly. And he's just going to go back. Probably going to use a teleport to get back in as quick as he possibly can. And there he goes. He shouldn't have done that. He should have checked on the minimap, but he's manages to set up something. But he uses bull, which is not the greatest bull I've ever seen. But at least they both survive, so that's not too bad. In terms of builds, Delma's picked up the stealth, but these guys just constant fighting. I like it. Alpha Z's lagging. They're not going to really care whether he's lagging or not. They want to win this game, which is fair enough. A lot of these players are sitting on a large amount of solar. Again, it's just not good really. I think the builds have all bugged because he's got 4 hammer pants, which is just crazy damage. And we're going to assume that he doesn't have 4 hammer pants. But he has got 337 solar and he needs to go spend that as quick as he can really. Nice dash, avoids a lot of damage, didn't pick up enough with the Coco though. Nice ball, it could potentially clean up now if they go in, which Maxwave is currently doing. Blaze is going to pick him up, Trigger's in a bad spot. They should try to turn around, he's going to pick up, and Delma gets a nice kill on the Coco. Venisek trying to get rid of that bull as fast as he can, but it's not quick enough. And he's going to get out. Alpha Z, really nice anchor on Delma, and the Froggy G is going to clean him up. Oh, maybe the Alpha Z. There we go. A lot of people dying. A lot of lag happening. A lot of invisible turrets going down. So Voxwave, he's coming in. He didn't buy anything, he didn't see him. In terms of upgrades, we've got pretty standard build coming from the Sentry, very lifesteal orientated build. He's got 2 different teleport based upgrades, not sure how, guys, crazy. Lifesteal coming with triple dynamite from the Lone Star, which is pretty good standard build. It's going to keep him alive in those brawling engagements very nicely, and the Swiggins is gone for triple A upgrades. Trigger Finger going to get shut down big time there. We've got some turrets coming back, which is nice to see. Delma's in a bad spot. Nice bull just to get out of there. And the kills increasing for the red team, but not enough push coming out from them. They're not capitalising on that at the moment. Nice dynamite on the Froggy G. Coco is going to try and make some plays, but they could switch around now. I would go for a definite anchor on the Coco, trying to get a setup from the Lone Star, which he does. Really nice play there. Pretty much textbook counterplay coming from that Swiggins. Really nice. And Coco overextended, got a bit ahead of himself, and he died for it, which you can't always do. Got to be careful when you're tunnel visioning, trying to evaluate every single variable in the game. You know, can I survive this? Will I do enough damage? You know, what if this guy attacks me, and so on and so forth. You can't just mindlessly run in these tournament players on voicecom because they will shred you. And Venisek's doing exactly that. He's trying to make some plays. Just luckily gets out. Actually, that was very mindless to kind of dash in there. So he needs to kind of only do that when he's got a team behind him, which is fair enough, because then he's got the stun and he's got the invincible frames. But he didn't have that, and that turret's going to go down in favour of the blue team. Foxwave's going to try and make some plays. Didn't get the anchor hook, but he's going to still challenge Maxwave. Maxwave's got the advantage here though, because Coco is the 1v1 king. Foxwave just surviving on 1 bar of health, and someone's hanging up by a thread, and that is the sentry, but it's okay because it's sentry. Oh, nice ball on Delma from MaxQuest. That was unlucky for him. Not sure if that was planned, but it was nice nonetheless. And sentry's just going to clear it. I don't think there hasn't been enough walk forward players coming from the sentry, and what I mean by walk forward is that he has such a big presence that when he walks forward they move backwards. They move backwards into turrets, and then he makes BHS into turret players. Good sack on the turret there. I'm not sure if he wanted to do that, but it was a good choice nonetheless. Getting the extra solar and avoiding them getting extra solar. Sentry coming in, he's going to bring out a big BHS, going to try and kill that Alpha Z. Gets him on the lag, but that's okay because he's going to die anyways. He should really be walking with the Lone Star. These two guys are really powerful as a 2v2 combo. They're going to drop down now. BHS comes out from Triggerfinger. He's going to try and catch that Coco, but Coco's going to fly off on the jump pad. Nice dash coming from Delma. Not Delma, sorry, from Venisect. Delma wastes his dynamite onto the dash itself and doesn't get anything from that, unfortunately. Triggerfinger just farming up nicely on the droids. What upgrades does he have? Can't really see, nothing's really changed. He's going to clear up that super dread at bottom though. Coco going for some melee hands, which is going to be great for a universal player, and by that I mean it works on everything, turrets, players and droids, so it's a great investment to kind of go for that kind of build. He's probably going to go for a attack speed or lifesteal after that as well for maximum damage, or he could go for turret hands, we will see. Highly doubt that though, but Triggerfinger's in a bad spot, but he is sentry and he's got great lifesteal capabilities, and he managed to survive. Venisect dashing away, just manages to get out from that dynamite. Not a bad engagement, no one died, so not too bad. Foggy G sitting on 350 solar. Could be spending on that. He's got speed on Tornado one stage. We just missed a kill, my bad. Looks like Alpha Z got shredded by Voxworth. He is the greatest latex packet and he knows it. And the blue team are going to get a massive push here now. But Venisect's going to try and stop that, but the team behind him is going to help him out. He just manages to get out. He picks up that health pack at bottom and he's going to teleport out. He should have just teleported and let that health pack go to Lone Star, but that greedy Swiggins wants it all for himself. It's a very close game. Both games have been very close. In terms of kills, it's very close. The turrets going down is quite close. They still got the top front turret for the blue team, but it's not a big deal. One kill could probably wipe out 2 turrets in one go, so they don't need to worry too much about that. Venisect should not be extended against the Swiggins. A nice predetermined dynamite gets the Bull kill. No, Bull doesn't do enough damage or damage at all to clean up that Foggy G, which is unfortunate really. I don't know why he bulled in the first place. He tries getting the bullpen on the Swiggins, doesn't manage to pick up that. I wouldn't be surprised if I see a Viking helmet come out. He's only got the 2 upgrades at the moment, but it's great for Aguilion. Slow's also great to pick up, but I feel like Techno Viking helmet damage on this map is very good. Something anyone should really look into, which is going to be great for 2.6 when you know exactly what abilities you can actually buy. So looking forward to that. Stealth's up. We'll probably give it to the Swiggins indeed. Set up on those BHSs. And there he goes, doesn't get the anchor. Alpha Z is going to go down, unfortunately for him. MaxQuest going to try and save him, but he's not going to be able to do anything from that. Venisect's going super ham on the Lone Star, but he's not going to get any kills coming from that either. So it's just a 1 kill in favour of Potato, sorry. For the blue team, Venisect's going to try and get some dash combos going in with MaxQuest. MaxQuest needs to be really careful. BHS into anchor could have happened there. Well, the assistance of his Foggy G. And Voxwave's going to be coming back now to try and help out. Not Voxwave, sorry. Alpha Z. Too many Swiggins. They're not playing as aggressive. They're worrying about the lag from Alpha Z. They've got a lot of potential. If they could get one single dash followed by Coco Blaze into particle hands, they could do a lot of damage here, but they're not doing that at the moment. They're being very passive. Venisect gets the hammer pants off, but not enough actually he does get the damage, kind of laggy. He's going to go down really nice and fast. Somehow got the tornado off, didn't see the animation for it though. But they need to capitalise on that. They need to push out right now and do as much damage to that top turret as they can. Instead they've gone back. Bad call, you've got a player down. And Foggy G is getting chased hard by the sentry in the Swiggins combo. Managed to get out. You can really stay on your own against the Swiggins. It's too risky. It's so annoying to have to deal with. But if he gets an anchor on you and you can't deal with it, his teammates have enough time to catch up and make some plays out of it. So you just got to be careful when you're with the Swiggins. Make sure you do have an out for when that happens. So we're back to a footsie knots game now. Coco has gone for the Blaze duration, not really utilising it as effectively. The Froggy G, really nice dash. Didn't get the hammer pants off though, but it doesn't matter too much. No one's going to die from that exchange, but I feel like the blue team got a better exchange off that, considering how many turrets they have down and the type of aggression that they have in that composition. Voxwave getting slammed by the anchor, but it looks like it's a reversal. Really nice BHS coming out onto Alpha Z, probably overkill, but it looked like it was necessary actually. So Alpha Z is going to go down yet again. Let's have a look how many kills his death ratio he's had, because he's died quite a lot of times I think. He's died 4 times, winning 2, 5-1 for Venisect and 4-3 for the Coco. So they've obviously got advantages in terms of kills. Venisect just missing out on Voxwave, unfortunately for him, but Max Quest not going to supply any sort of support, which is quite sad really, because he could have got the kill there. Can we all just hold upset want us to restart my game? Not sure what's going to happen here. Not sure what they all think about that. Looks like we're having a waiting game. I'm going to just kind of comment on what the hell's going on now while we wait. I'm going to assume some of these have a lot of bugs, which they probably are. We've got ice cubes coming out from the Froggy G. It's pretty good. It's not really a standard build. Max burst from Froggy G is none these days, but slow is, it's got its good points, and it double stacks with the Coco a little bit, so that's not too bad. So it could be worse. Coming from the Coco, we've got pretty standard build. The TAM on the floor is not that great, to be honest. A lot of people don't think it's that great. It's gone for the Chuck's board, only 2 stages. You probably want to max that Chuck's board out before you go for anything else. It's too much damage to not do that. Looks like it's going for like a double tick, which is why he's gone for both of them, but I would max out the Chuck's board first. And the Swiggins, it's pretty standard build, max damage. He hasn't got any ink upgrades yet in terms of like shield and stuff like that, or speed, milk. For the other team, let's move that up a little bit. We have pretty standard build again from the Swiggins. The Lone Star's gone for a similar build as last time. He's opting for that early slow bull, which I don't think is really necessary. I would probably have gone for auto attack build. It's more consistent, universal, works on every aspect of the game. Looks like he's back now, so we'll go back into the game. Alpha Z is hanging on by a thread, and he manages to get out. He's going to follow up for that. Venisect's going to come in and try to make some plays, but nothing's going to come out of that one either. And Delmish is going to continuously push this top turret, rightly so. They have a lot of presence. Lightning Ball doesn't really do much play, but BHS is going to come out. He should be able to shred that Max Quest, but it's not a very high damaging BHS. It looks like it was just a BHS for the CC. Venisect, I think he got hit by that dynamite, unfortunately. He's going to have to try and make some plays with his team because they're not sticking together enough. One dash into all of them, followed by a tornado, with the blaze coming out and the Coco ball. It's a lot of damage, and obviously Swiggins can follow up on that damage as well. The team that they've got on blue team is not that heavy on damage overall, actually, especially with the way they've built it. It's just got BHS, and Venisect is going to go for a kill on Voxwave. Doesn't manage to get him, but that's the kind of play that needs to happen. But it needs to happen with their entire team, and not just 2 of them. Look at the damage with just 2 of them; it nearly killed them. So adding an extra player, then we should see a lot more kills coming out from the red team, which unfortunately we're not seeing right now. Coco picking up 2 stages of ball damage, which is quite nice for the extra burst, and we're getting a tweeters coming out from Froggy G, so he's probably going to go for a dash into straight away tweeters as opposed to tweeters into a dash combo with that added slow. It's going to be more consistent, which is quite nice. To really need that burst to kind of shut down that Sentry, that Swiggins combo. But they're on the back of the turret again because of Sentry and his ability to move people with his presence alone. And Delma's in a really bad spot, but a BHS comes out to save the day, and now he's going to go down. Potential bull pins, but no, bull still on cooldown just before he got killed, and he's going to go down nice and fast. 2-2. The Froggy G and the Swiggins obviously has the advantage over these. Whether they utilise that or not, that's another story. Voxwave is going to miss his anchor, and he misses his next anchor drop. but Venetek's coming in. If he gets a dash Nado combo, he could potentially kill Voxwave here. He's wasted BHS. Should definitely move forward here and stop them from getting the stealth, but they're playing pretty passive now. I'm not too sure why. And Voxwave's just opting for a clear on that turret. Picking up that extra solar. Venetek on his own again. Luckily that he survived the anchor combo, because if he gets... I'm not sure what that was a weird dash. If he gets hit by the anchor, Foggy G is so screwed. You're basically removing the biggest attribute of Foggy G, and that's his mobility, and you just take that off and you can get shredded. So Foggy G needs to be really careful. He's picked up an extra stage of tweeters, so that's going to make it a 40 damage combo. That should be pretty deadly, especially with the near enough max damage dash. Delma's caught out a little bit, but Venetek's going to chase him. He gets the tweeters, no, not quite actually. Voxwave doing quite a bit of damage with those 20 air swings. Coco in a bad spot, but he manages to float off out of there. And it's back to a pretty close game, pretty much footsie knots at this point. A nice bull, pushing them away. They're focusing on just pushing those turrets, I think. They don't really want to engage, because they do have the advantage, but they're not really utilising that right now. If the red team were to initiate with a 3v3, they should win, technically. Especially if they work around the BHS. The BHS is the big problem here. Voxwave is inclined to initiate a lot more than Alpha Z, which is unfortunate because he doesn't have that as big as damage to follow up as Alpha Z. So, and Alpha Z is trying to make something happen there, but it's just not enough. His team isn't there. Venetek's going to try and make some plays on Delma, but doesn't get the dash that he wanted, so he's going to just walk backwards. They should probably focus on just getting that turret down, because they had the advantage there with two players backing off. Venetek's got that nice dash up. Could the tweeters come off? Does he get it? Nope, doesn't get the tweeters. Manages to get out though, thanks to Foggy G's mobility, which the Swiggins is known to shut down. As long as he can shut that down, then he's probably going to die quite easily. So that top turret's going to get pushed even further. Foggy G gets a nice dash up. He flies into a BHS, but it doesn't matter because he gets the tweeters off and splats Voxwave. But now they should really push forward. Alpha Z using his teleportation Jitsu onto the Delma. He gets the anchor. Crazy leg coming on down from Alpha Z. Delma's still alive. I don't know how, but he should die. Yeah, he will die here for sure. Alpha Z picking up that kill. The bottom turret's getting a really nice push going here, so they should try and utilise that. Which Coco is doing now. Not enough droids though, unfortunately. And Sentry is down at bottom, making up some plays. He's teleported back from the shop. Alpha Z could potentially make some plays on Triggerfinger right now, because he's on his own and he has no backup from his teammates at all. BHS coming out, not the greatest BHS. You don't want a BHS blindly against a Foggy G unless you actually don't want the BHS, so you can get a differently damage stacking BHS for next time. Nice icon coming out from the red team, but nothing's going to come out of it. They don't really want to initiate the blue team right now. The red team should really be going in when it's a 2v3 situation. Definitely take advantage of that, especially with a stun combo Nida with the Foggy G. But it's 3v3 now, and Voxwave's taking no time to initiate. He's got his shield on the removal of anchor, and he's going to go down. Delma's going to get splattered. Hopefully, no, he doesn't die, and that's a team wipeout, and that top turret going to go down for sure. Yeah, that's a good decision for a split push. Should probably help him out on the top a little bit more, but definitely split push is the way to go, I think. Getting at least one turret down, they should probably go at top just to get at least one turret down. But they're going to focus on getting the bottom one, which is fair enough. He shouldn't be going back though, he's got a lot more time, but I guess they don't know this. A lot of damage on those turrets. One more team wipe and I think it's GG for them. GG indeed. And Sentry gets it down. What a boss. What the hell happened there? He's uncontested at the moment. He's got too much health, too much sustain. Voxwave trying to make some plays. Nothing's going to come out of that one though. Voxwave got the double shield, and that means he's got 25% shield whenever he's not holding his home bolt, which is super effective, and it's going to get nerfed in 2.6 because of that very reason. Managed to pick up a kill on Alpha Z, unfortunately for him. Sentry sitting on 506, and he's going to buy... He's got the damage reduction when using BHS. Ooh, looks like we missed a kill, so sorry for that. Looks like Delma and Voxwave combo. And it looks like he's picked up the flat amount of damage. I think it's flat amount of damage on the BHS. Either way, it's extra damage on the BHS, and that's going to hit a lot harder. So if they get hit by the BHS, especially as a team, that's definitely going to go down. Unfortunately, the red team haven't really stuck together. They've got a really good combo in terms of brawling capabilities in comparison to the blue team, but they're not utilising it. And Max Quest just getting shredded by that 2 droid wave pack, and he's not going to survive at all. There's no chance in the world. Alpha Z trying to play his luck, but that's not going to work, and that's a GG. That is a GG in my mouth. Oof, super sore. 1 second. Oh, I think these two teams were comparable in strength, but unfortunately, one of them utilised their comp better than the other. Obviously, in favour of Potato. They didn't really have that triple initiation. They was playing quite decently individually, but they didn't combine that power, and unfortunately for them, that is why they lost. In terms of build, I can't really decipher this because it's just random bugs, which hopefully 2.6 fixes because this is ridiculous. But it looks pretty standard. I can't really say anything bad about it apart from this double regen coming from Swiggins. You know, he could have traded that off like a 1 stage of energized hook, or he could have got blue heart medal. You know, extra damage which you really want in the early game when you don't need sustain, especially on a map like Aguillon, which is health packs everywhere. It's got creeps everywhere. You don't really need that, so definitely don't go for a regen build like that early on. But other than that, it's a pretty decent build. Lone Star going for slow bull. I didn't really see anything coming out of the slow bull, so it wasn't utilised that well. Because if you've got BHS anyways, the chances are they're going to die. It's just an alternative to CC bullpins and trying to shut down that Froggy G's mobility. But personally, I wouldn't have gone for that as early as he did. But there we go, they got the win, and that's all that matters, I suppose. So that's Potatoes got into the loser bracket round 2, I do believe, and 2 good out of the tournament. So we shall get to the next game, and I shall put some sick Genji music on with a nice little screen for you there we go. I just need to get the other files for the next game. Who says 2.6 is coming out tomorrow anyways? Show me this proof.